Hey, y'all, thank you for joining us again for another week of Wellness Wednesday with me. My name is Natalia. I am the owner of Wonderfully Made with Natalia, and this is Dr. Jenny Chavez, owner of Route to Recovery Physical Therapy.
Hi, everyone.
So, today we're going to be talking a little bit about stress and stress management. I don't know about everybody else, but I know myself. I live a very stress filled life. I have 5 children. I'm always on the run. I'm trying to manage and juggle 2 businesses. So that sounds stressful on its own. I don't know, but I know job must be stressful on your end too, Dr. Travis.
It is stressful just trying to balance being a business owner, having family events, trying to make it to, even events where friends invite you to, just trying to juggle things out can be hard at times. I don't have kids, but I do have 2 puppies, so they're like kids.
And you
And,
have a lot of patience that you
and
see on a daily basis.
all the patients that I see, they're not just simple cases, and I don't complain about that. I am actually thankful that I get those kind of cases because those are the kind of patients that I want to help. The people that feel like they've reached the end of their hope and I can bring hope back into their lives. So
Yeah.
it is stressful, but I'm thankful to have people like you in my life so that we can balance things out.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to kind of talk about a little bit today. Stress, because everybody's going to experience some form of stress. Others might have a little bit more severe stress than others, or everybody handles stress differently. So I just wanted to start off by saying stress. What is that? So stress, as we know, it can act as an accelerator. So stress can either push us forward or it can hold us back. Sometimes you fall into that crippling stress where you find yourself like you're so stressed, but it motivates you to push forward. It motivates you to get these things done. Or you can fall into that stress where you're just like, I don't want to do anything. I don't even want to get out of bed because I'm so stressed. I just want to, bed rot. Or you're so paralyzed by the stress that you don't even see how you can get anything done. So those, like we said, everybody handles things differently. So
Yeah. So stress is like an emotion, right?
yeah.
It's a feeling of feeling overwhelmed. But what is actually stress? So cortisol is actually the hormone that is responsible for your stress, my stress, and everyone's stress. So cortisol is a hormone that is released by the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are basically glands that sit right above your kidneys, and
Mhm.
there's one on each side. And so the time when cortisol is released is basically when during a situation of fight or flight, or
Mhm.
there's even a freeze situation. That's something I think that's new now because
Mhm.
you either fight or flight or you just freeze, like you
Yeah.
mentioned earlier. You can't even get out of bed. So cortisol is released during those situations, and it plays a role in maintaining homeostasis in the body. When it's out of control, it can affect your metabolism, inflammation in your body. Go back to the previous slide. I'm sorry. It it affects the inflammation in your body, your blood pressure, and the blood sugar. So now Natalia is going to talk about, like, since cortisol regulates those symptoms, so what can we expect when they get out of whack, when they're too high?
Yeah, so like you mentioned, we do need this cortisol. We do need a bit of it, but when we have too much of it, that's when we start seeing some of these symptoms that I could go over right now. And I know even in my case, I know that I've noticed that my blood pressure. I've had issues with my blood pressure. My acne, although I do use my new skin products regularly, and I do see my face cleared out, but because I still live in that constant stress, sometimes I can still see some of that showing up on my face. But these are just a list of many things that could be happening. The weight gain. Sometimes we're like, why are we gaining weight? We're doing everything right, but if we have constantly high levels of cortisol in our body, that's why we're gaining that weight. We're keeping it. You'll see it around your face, especially with, the roundness in your face, the acne, the thinning of skin, bruising easily, your muscles weakening. You'll be severely fatigued because you're tired of that. Your body's working overtime to keep you stressed and trying to keep you regulated at the same time.
Yeah,
so it's working. It's working.
Yeah, so knowing the effects of this is one thing, but actually seeing how lengthy this list is kind of crazy, right? So just to back off of what you're saying, the reason why we see such a long list of symptoms associated with it is because once your stress levels are so high, there if your body gets too much of cortisol, there's a thing such as a negative feedback loop, right? Where it stops the secretion of certain hormones to then eventually stabilize the cortisol levels. But once that negative feedback loop is has been targeted so many times, it shuts down. So then your body doesn't even know how to respond to stress anymore, and that's when you get that.
Yeah. So like we said, headaches, constant headaches. People don't know, but that's a big thing. So like if you're having any of these symptoms, go visit your doctor. Talk to them about stress management. Obviously we are not prescribing you anything, but in a little bit we will get into some things that we do offer that could kind of help as well. So now that you know what stress is, exactly what stress is, which is cortisol, and how it affects our body, let's look at a natural approach as that we can use to kind of bring our body back down and try to practice a little bit of stress management on a natural level.
Yeah, so as a doctor of physical therapy, most people come to me for pain. But we realized during our discovery call and during our evaluation that most of their pain can come from not being able to manage their stress. And so a lot of our education goes towards targeting these areas. So we educate you on eating properly, meditating, taking some time to exercise, making sure you get enough sleep, and even going outside and enjoying the sunny weather, doing some grounding in the mornings and at night. Those are some ways to manage it. But if you're doing this and you're still struggling with this, Natalia will talk about other supplements that we recommend frequently.
Yeah, so one of the supplements that we have within our Nu Skin portfolio through Pharmanex is our Cortitrol. And I have my bottle right here, which is almost empty. I literally have like 2 doses left because I swear by this thing. I swear by this product and the next product that we will talk about in a little bit. But let me talk about this one. Like I mentioned in the beginning, I have 5 kids. Those kids all have their own activities going on. I have an 18-year-old that's driving on her own, getting a job, one that's in orchestra, one that plays football and baseball, one that does cheer competitively. That's all stressful because who's taking them around? Mom. Mom is taking them around. I'm taking them where they need to go, plus managing my own life, plus the baby. So I definitely need something like this in my life. I need this because the way you take this is 2 capsules a day. It's suggested to take it in the evening or in the morning. However, I take it right around that 2 p.m. time when I'm starting to feel the crash of the day. That's when I usually take my new biome for my energy boost, my Cortitrol for my stress, because around that time I'm starting to pick up children.
That's what I was going to say.
Yes, they get home from school and they're immediately unloading everything onto me. How was their day? How was this? Do they have homework? Sometimes my daughter is like handing me papers as I'm driving and I was like, what are you doing? I can't even look at this. You need to relax, wait a minute. But they come home and they unload. So I need to be ready for that because we all can't be unregulated.
That's what I like, that it's so safe that you can take up to 3 per day,
Yes, yes,
that's
you
really
can.
good.
You can take up to 3 per day. And my daughter was feeling really anxious one day. She's 14 now. She just turned 14. She was feeling really anxious and she had a concert, an orchestra concert, and she just felt like she wasn't prepared. So I gave her one of these. She doesn't really take pills, so I broke the capsule apart and I mixed it in a juice or something, and she drank it. And she did say that she was still kind of stressed, but it wasn't as high as it was. Like she felt more at ease. And I only gave her one capsule because I wasn't sure that I didn't want to waste it. I wasn't sure if she would even, drink it.
How old is the daughter that took it?
She just turned 14. She was 13 at the time.
Oh, okay.
So it's safe. I asked the doctor on our team, I was like, hey, is it safe? They're like, yeah, it's natural supplement. It's totally safe. So I was like, hey, do you want to try it? It's going to help you with your stress. I know you're feeling anxious. You're feeling like a lot of anxiety. Do you want to try it? Yes or no? And she gave it a shot. And then when she came home, I asked her, I was like, well, how did you feel? She was like, well, I was still nervous, but I wasn't like stressing. So I was like, oh, okay, well, that's good. That's all I wanted. I wanted her because she was really worked up about this orchestra concert. So
that's good that she was able to differentiate, because at that age, I remember I was barely going into high school and I would hear adults talk about stress all the time. I still remember this, and in my mind, I would be like, why is everybody so stressed? Like, I don't want to live that life, or I don't want to be sounding like them and saying, oh, I'm stressed, I'm stressed, I'm stressed.
Yeah.
And thankfully, because I have found a good support system and supplements into my life, yes, there's stress, but I manage it very well. I've learned how to manage it very well. So.
And that's all we want. And that's all we want. And that's all we want for the kids, to learn how to manage these stressful situations. Because like we said, there's going to be stressful situations all around.
You can't help it.
I don't think that there's anybody in the world that can say, I've never been stressed. I don't know what stress is.
I thought I would be that person.
I'll call it, because I'm like, you're lying. Everybody has some form of stress. Like you said, like for my daughter, it wasn't that she was stressed. It's just that her anxiety was too much, that she was becoming stressed, So that can take a role in it. You're too anxious, whatever. So this really helped her on that. And then we'll move on to the next product that we both use.
So that's a CBDA. Yes, CBDA. And you have it also.
I do.
Here's.
Cheers.
So CBDA is basically a precursor to CBD. What that means is that it's CBD in its most natural form. It's used in conjunction with CBD. And so you can see all the benefits that it can provide for you. But overall, just basically putting your body in a state of homeostasis, which is what we want for people, right? Our slogan for Route to Recovery is healing from the inside out. So if your body from the inside is not in homeostasis, there's no way that we can make it feel good on the outside, no matter with what we do. So I
agree about that. And I do, I actually really love using this because it really gets my brain cleared. Like when I'm working on content creating, and I'm like, I know I'm going to be working on this for a minute and I need to focus. I'm like, let me open this up. It's super easy. And this one is cinnamon flavored, but it's
really good.
Yeah.
So the same, going back to the Corditrol, right? The CBDA, you can also take it 2 to 3 times per day, and you can take the whole dropper, which is pretty big.
Yeah.
So it's very safe. You can take it throughout your day. And some people are like, well, I'm scared to take so much. I'm scared to depend on it. I would be you're not going to depend on this because your body knows exactly how to distribute it and how to make the best use of it. It's not like the other, medications that have a bunch of side effects. Now, those I would be afraid. Like, and we take them.
These are natural, so they don't form addictive patterns where we have, medications. I'm not naming any, but those are highly addictive. These are not.
Yeah, and they're not just covering up the problem. They're actually going inside of your body and changing things up on the inside in a positive way. So that wraps up the benefits of the CBDA and the Corditrol.
I know. I'm so excited. So, yes. So, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about this. Saturday, March 30th, Dr. Jenny and I and a few others of our team, our members, I know we have Nurse Nikkei will be there with leg compressions. We'll be there with samples. We'll have um,
We're gonna have collagen, our gut health
yes,
drink,
thank you for that.
pre-workout,
We'll have
recovery.
samples of pretty much everything we have, and then we'll also be able to measure your antioxidants levels. So that's really good and important to know, and a kind of a good baseline to start because your antioxidants is what keeps you healthy. And so if you want to come know that number, know where you're sitting at, know what work you should do or what can help, scan this QR. Y'all come race. And then after you race, come see us, Dr. Jenny and I at the booth. And yeah, I'm so excited for it. I'm excited because we were there last year and now we'll be there again this year. So I'm really excited. I'm excited for what this 5K is for. It's to bring awareness to autoimmune. The person who started this, Dominique Cousins, she herself suffers with MS, and she's had like probably the worst of the worst of the worst experience and symptoms. And through her diet, through her wellness, through all of that, she's now able to do a 5K. And if you see her, she looks like the healthiest, she's thriving, she's everything, and you would never know that she's dealing with MS. So
Exactly. She's not letting the diagnosis define her future.
yes.
So that's what we're about at the race. We're there to educate and empower everyone. If you want to sign up for a spot before the race and then after the race, send us a DM through Instagram to either Natalia or I. And we're also going to be providing a link for you to set up an appointment for a discovery call if you have any questions prior to that event, or if you have any other questions regarding the supplements that we mentioned today.
Yes, absolutely. We will drop a link below. I know on my end, I'll drop a link where people can shop it. If you can send me a link, because I don't, but you send me a link for this so people can buy it. If they want to do it that way, I'll have all those links there for you. If you want, just send us a message, send Dr. Jenny Travis a message, but I will also link her a way to book her discovery call. It's a complimentary discovery call.
Yes.
So hop on that, get your stuff going, and just take overall, this is all it is, education, how to manage stress. I mean, we're not going to ever be completely stress-free, but there's a way that we can manage that stress and not be off the wall crazy with it.
Exactly. So we show you how to cope with it and live a
Yes.
better life.
Yes. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching this week. Join us next week. I will have, let me look at my calendar real quick to see who I have for next week. Oh, next week I have another person. She's amazing. Paula Toby. Y'all stay tuned for that one. I'll be posting more about that one. But all right, then, guys, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
See you soon. Bye-bye.